In the U.S., Democratic presidential hopefuls are making a final push before Tuesday's big primaries. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama spent the weekend campaigning in North Carolina and Indiana. Speaking in Indianapolis, Clinton said that whatever the leadership outcome is, the party will stand together in order to get the White House.
I've said that I would work my heart out for him. He has said he would do the same for me. So we will unify. People who support me, and they support me passionately, and people who support Senator Obama and support him passionately, they have much more in common than they do with Senator McCain and the Republicans.
All right, done to your campaign.
Clinton's rival also appeared on American television this morning. Obama spent a large chunk of the hour on Meet the Press discussing his relationship with explosive pastor Jeremiah Wright. The divisive preacher has distracted Obama's campaign, but Obama is now putting a firm distance between himself and Wright, who has made a number of inflammatory remarks.
I trust the American people that they'll put this in context and they'll say, you know what, this is not who Barack Obama is. It's not what he's stood for. It's not what he's said. It's not what he's written.
You're done with him. If you're elected president, you won't seek his counsel.
Absolutely not.
Obama leads Clinton in pledged delegates, and observers say it'll be difficult for Clinton to overtake him. And joining us with more is Solon Simmons, professor of conflict analysis and resolution at George Mason University. He specializes in U.S. politics. A lot of conflict this week. You have the Wright situation. You have now Hillary saying that both sides will work together. How easy is it, once this is all over, for supporters of either side to actually work together?
Well, we don't know how well this rift will heal, and it's gone on so long, and it's been so intense that people are speculating wildly. You know, almost 4 months ago, Scott, you and I came together to talk about the first primary in New Hampshire, and today we're about as close with as much tension and uncertainty around the races as we had then. It's a really surprising event and turn of events, and Hillary Clinton has been closing the gap, been closing for about 2 weeks. As we said, she won in Pennsylvania, the Jeremiah Wright thing is there, and it's just, we don't know what's going to happen. So there's so much uncertainty left in this race.
And if we believe the polls, in one state, Obama had a 20-point lead at one point. In Indiana, they say it's pretty close. If they split the states, what does that mean?
Well, you know, going back before Pennsylvania, which was on April 22nd, which seems a lifetime ago, Obama said that Indiana was going to be a tiebreaker, that he was going to win North Carolina, she was going to win Pennsylvania, then we'd see what happens in Indiana. Well, now, after this Reverend Wright fiasco, I guess we might call it, Indiana, I think, is almost certainly to go for Clinton. And there's even talk that she might be able to win in North Carolina. If she wins in North Carolina on Tuesday, we have a whole new race. And there's going to be a lot of question. Can Obama be the person to lead the party forward? The superdelegates, remind you, are the people who decide this, not the voters at this point. All this is just counsel to the superdelegates. So what will they do? We don't exactly know who's left, who they are, and how they're thinking about these issues, as much as we've tried to figure out. So that's what we have to wait for on Tuesday.
And each side, every time a superdelegate makes a decision or changes a decision, as happened this week, makes hay out of that. The number of superdelegates left, how many are there?
Well, I didn't bring the exact number, but it's many of them have been decided, and the gap is extremely narrow. It could easily be thrown toward Hillary Clinton if they decide to go that way. Keep in mind how close this race is. We just had yesterday a caucus in Guam, and guess what happened there? Barack Obama won by 7 votes, not 7 delegates, 7 votes. It's incredibly tight. And so it seems that Americans just can't make up their mind. It's a 50-50 nation at the macro level of Democrats and Republicans. Within the Democratic Party, it's 50-50. So that's the uncertainty that's driving it. Wow, it's just, there's a lot to watch for.
Aren't they heading towards exactly what they didn't want, which was going to the convention and having it be right down the middle? Absolutely very tough to make one decision.
It is, and Howard Dean, the committee chair for the Democrats, says he won't let that happen. We end the primary season on June 3rd, and we'll see if we can then at that point, that's the point where we'll be able to say, will the superdelegates commit, or are we going to go to convention? I think there is a healing process that needs to set in. There's some who say that this is actually good for the Democrats because there's so much attention on them that it helps them out in the long run. I'm not sure that. But you do need a process of healing, and it might take a couple months to do it. So they don't want to go to convention. I don't think anyone wants to see it go there.
Solon Simmons, thank you very much for joining us. Look forward to Tuesday's vote.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Time now for a short break here on CTV Newsnet. I'm Scott Laurie. Stay with us.